Hey you guys, thanks for joining me today. I wanted to make a video to explain the Loving Lyme mission and vision and all of that because I'm about to do some really big things. Um, I'm really excited to tell you about what's going on to the point where I'm emotional. So if I tear up, uh, you know, I'm sensitive. Be nice. um, so I originally started the Loving Lyme. It was called the Reflected Perspectives, and then it was called the Dandelion Princess, and then it switched to the Loving Lyme as I began to have a clearer understanding of what it was that I was doing here on this earth. Because I was lost for a really long time. And so what happened was due to Lyme disease, which I didn't know at the time, I was in poverty and we were going to the food pantries for food. We were about to be evicted because I was unable to work, and my partner at the time had, a great job, but it just wasn't enough to cover everything that was going on in our two children. So we were going to the food pantry, and I had just started to make the correlation between the food that I was eating and the pain I was feeling in my body. And it was becoming very, very apparent that any time I ate these things from a box, or a pastry or whatever, I would be in massive amounts of pain. I would have brain fog. I would have like electric shocks, my face went numb. I was losing the ability to hold myself up. It got pretty scary. So when I went to the food pantry, which was a religious organization, I finally told her, I said, I can't eat this stuff in a box anymore. It's killing me. Do you have vegetables that I could eat? And this woman looked at me very upset and told me that I should be ashamed of myself, that I was in the situation I was in, and she took it as me being ungrateful for the food that was being provided because at least I wasn't starving. And so I went home with my spirit crushed and my belly empty because I could not eat that food anymore. And I sat on my back porch and I cried for hours. And I told the universe how it wasn't fair and how it wasn't right. I called around and I looked for organic food pantries that grew their own food, and there was one in Canada. I mean, I really thought that, there would be more than that. I mean, if you're a food pantry, I just feel like, shouldn't you be growing your own food, So, the universe gave me a mission, and I've been working towards that for the last 5 years. And now I'm finally at a place where it's manifesting around me. People are asking me a lot about my mission, and so here we are. So my grassroots organization is called the Loving Lyme. My mission is to help people see how they can love their Lyme. I believe that this illness and all of the things that manifested as a result of this manifestation of illness were here to guide me into being who I am. And now I understand I'm a light worker, and now I understand why it was so hard for me for so long. And now I understand, about the law of attraction and the law of abundance and the law of manifestation and karma and all of these things. And I feel like I went through the process really alone. There were a few people that popped up as guides for me, and thank God for them. Amber Murphy, Pixie, Jamie Shear, um, Jennifer Hyun, I can't say her name right, Richard Powell, oh my gosh, Julie Wilder. There have been so many people, Heather Sage, um, and my friends, you know. So many people gave me little bits of information, strangers, but yet there was a lot of times where I was really in the dark about things. And I'm grateful for that, because in that darkness, I found my own light. And I would like to help other people to find their own light. I'm still a work in progress. I'm still a work in progress. I'm working on my sexual abuse history right now by going to rape crisis counseling. And so what I do is a plethora of things. I just acquired a 1/4 acre of land in Jacksonville, which I plan to cultivate to grow vegetables for a food pantry that I want to start, where people with Lyme disease, I had to, there's so many people that have Lyme disease. I was originally going to open it up to everybody that had chronic illness. However, chronic illness, 70% of our population is dealing with some sort of chronic illness. So I had to narrow it down, and there are enough of us healing from Lyme disease that this will this will help enough people, I hope. So the food pantry portion is one of it. I'm working on having a permaculturist hold classes on the land so that I can support my permaculture friends. And then we have the food, and then people that are a part of the food pantry can, take the classes so that they themselves are empowered to grow their own food, to heal their own lives. So, I don't want to be an end stop for people. I want to be a stepping stone. So people will come into the food pantry, they will agree to an energetic exchange program. So when my goal is to empower people, and I know when I went to the food pantries, it was disempowering. Not only could I not pick my own food, but I felt like I wanted to do something for it. It didn't feel good to just have a handout, And I would volunteer in my life to kind of bridge that gap. But now I understand that there needs to be an even exchange of energy between the receiver and the giver. And so people will go through a financial process where we will identify blocks that they have in their finances that they could work on to alleviate some stress, because stress is a killer. And then they will agree to some sort of exchange, hugging people at the door, doing administrative work, volunteering to work in the pantry. You get what I'm saying? So there's that portion of it, which is all about freedom, because like I said, the people will have the option to learn to grow their own food, and that'll empower them to go do their own thing. The other part of it is actually, I'm really excited about it. I've been working towards this for 5 years. I am about to go full-time on the road in April in my camper, and I will be traveling around to different people's houses who have Lyme disease, and I will be, the exchange is I need a place to hook my camper up for 3 days. 2 of those days will be filming in a mini documentary style their lives, and then we'll do an interview in which they can share their story. And the reason for this is because there's so much misinformation out there regarding Lyme disease. And the CDC isn't necessarily lying, but they're not telling the whole truth, and that creates a lot of confusion. And then there's the Lyme disease community that is obviously saying different than what the government is saying. So there's inconsistency, which develops mistrust. And for some reason, when we are in a state of confusion, a lot of us automatically side with the authority, which in this case would be the CDC. And I've been advocating for Lyme disease for the last, 7 years. And I'm noticing that I'm not having the impact that I really wish to have. So I believe that seeing is believing. And I believe that if I can show people that enough of us are going through the same thing, eventually the scale is going to tip in our direction. And people are going to start really seeing that, hey, this is a bigger deal, than what we're being told. So I'll be also, while I'm at the person's house doing the interviewing, they have the opportunity to utilize my light working skills. And the kind of light work that I do is freedom rebalancing. And what that is basically meeting with someone, and I have the ability, because of what I've gone through, and to judge another person is to judge myself, and I can only see the things that I see in myself. And that allows me to energetically pick out blocks in other people's lives that would be hindering them from reaching their true desires, whether that be health or whatever you want to manifest, love or freedom, So that is, like trauma. Yeah, a lot of us are functioning from our childhood trauma. Also, the other thing I do is I teach people that our bodies are talking to us. Our higher self is talking to us through our body, and each way that a dis-ease manifests physically, it correlates to an emotion, which correlates to a vibration. And so when we raise our vibration, we naturally cycle out of a vibration that illness thrives in. And so there's a process of sitting with people and hearing what their symptoms are, and then I use this book. I use a few books. This is one of my biggest books that I use as a reference, Metaphysical Anatomy by Yvette Rose. And then I also, I use all kinds of things, numerology, astrology, whatever is needed in the moment. And then I'm your cheerleader. And we have meetings and we discuss, and I have lots of people that I partnership with that I can refer you to. And that brings me to the other leg of the program. I am creating a healing clinic. I want to see in the world a hospital or clinic where people have access to chiropractic care, acupuncture, massage, reflexology, herbs, energy work, all of that stuff at low to no cost. I do believe this is possible. I do believe that there are practitioners out there who would love to volunteer for this project. And if you're one of them, please, dear God, contact me. I would like to I am contacting the online herbal schools who have distance learning, but they don't have hands-on experience. And I believe hands-on experience is of utmost importance in developing our confidence in what we're doing. So I feel like it's a natural fit for me to create a space in which those people could come and practice, and then people who need care can get the care. And when we switch from conventional treatment and thought to a holistic approach, that is a huge shift in vibration, you know? And so the interviews, the food pantry, the healing clinic, then my long-term goal is to have land in which I can create from tiny houses a housing facility for women and children who have been abandoned due to illness. This is a very big issue. My husband left me and I was homeless for a year because of my illness. And I know at least 10 other women who are homeless with Lyme and children. And you should not have to encounter that while you are fighting for your life. It's next to impossible to heal while you are under that amount of stress. It is very important to have a loving environment, a safe place to heal. And when we heal ourselves, we heal the world. I mean, that's just basically how it works. When we shift our vibration, then everything around us shifts. And I've personally found it completely impossible to heal my body while I was under that massive amount of stress of being homeless. So I would like to create a wellness sustainable community where we grow our own food, we grow our own herbs, and we support each other. And we have a resource center. You know, we would do yoga. People could come and volunteer and take classes. And we would do lots of fundraisers because I love fundraising. I think it's so fun. Fundraising. Anyway, that was dumb. And yeah, so that is my mission. And I am really excited about it. And if you're as excited as I am, I would love to hear from you. My email is thelovinglyme@gmail.com. Also, you can find me on Facebook and Instagram as The Loving Lyme. If you would like to donate to the cause, please message me and email me. Your contribution is greatly, greatly appreciated. And I thank you very much for your time. And I look forward to making more videos. Here we go! There will be other videos that go more in depth of my history. I'm going to try to catch everybody up in my life. I'm going to make it into parts because it's been an extensive life experience. And then I'm going to start documenting my whole traveling experience. I have to refurnish or renovate my camper just a little bit so it creates more room. And I have no idea what I'm doing, so this will be funny. You know, because we make mistakes when we're learning, and that shit's funny. So I hope you grow with me, you know. I hope you share my video. I hope you resonate with my mission, and I hope you want to help if you'd like to be interviewed. I will be heading up north in April. So for the first half of the year, I'll be up north doing interviews. And then in the second half of the year, did I say month? I meant year. And the second half of the month, I'll be going, out west more. So if you would like me to come and interview you and do a mini documentary of your life, please contact me. And I look forward to hearing from you. Have a great day. Thank you for watching my video.